The 90s, the decade where porn goes pop.
Americans wanted to see behind the curtain to understand the sex performance.
What's next in the shock department? More genius.
The AIDS crisis forces everyone to open up about sex.
You had to ask uncomfortable questions, because if you didn't, you could end up dead.
Wait till you get married!
But some are staying buttoned up.
If I didn't have my faith, it would lead to bad things.
That was never this guy's MO, though.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Monica, look over here!
And he ended up in the biggest sex scandal of the decade.
It debased the presidency in a way that we had never seen before.
Meanwhile, in 1996, Senator Bob Dole is also fighting eroding moral standards in an attempt to stop Clinton's re-election.
Movies, television, and advertising regularly push the limits of decency, and they bombard our children with destructive messages of casual violence and even more casual sex.
It really was this culture war that had been declared against the liberals by the conservatives who were now out of power.
But Clinton's good old boy charisma makes it hard for America to say no.
Warren Rudman said that the Democrats have become the moderate party. I think the Democrats have become the modern party as well.
And on November 5th, Clinton storms to victory, unaware that he would soon be engulfed in the biggest sex scandal of the decade.
Monica Lewinsky began her internship at the White House as she was turning 22 years old in July of 1995. And she was so good at her job that months later, she was offered a full-time position.
At the White House, Lewinsky caught the president's eye, and the two were soon engaged in a dangerous liaison.
Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton's relationship spanned some 20 encounters in person and countless late-night phone calls, all of which made by the president. They kept the relationship a secret for quite some time.
But Bill Clinton's past is about to devour his future when former Arkansas state employee Paula Jones files a sexual harassment suit against the president.
He started to put his hands and slide up my legs. I pushed him back. I got away.
Paula Jones's legal team now call on women who have worked closely with the president to come forward. Bill Clinton remains confident his affair with Monica is still secret. But he doesn't know that Monica has confided all to her friend Linda Tripp, who is recording their conversations.
We didn't have sex. Well, what do you call it? We fooled around. I think if you can get to orgasm, that's having sex. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
But Linda Tripp is not the friend she claims to be. She funnels information to the press and to investigators.
Monica, look over here! Monica!
Overnight, Monica Lewinsky becomes a household name.
You have sexual relations with the president!
And everyone is talking about the president's sex life.
So the shock here at the White House this morning, allegations of sexual misconduct by the president in the White House. There are tape recordings of the intern, Monica Lewinsky, in which Lewinsky alleges she had a 1.5-year-long affair with the president.
Cornered, the president turns to a man whose own downfall was caused by a sex scandal.
He said, "So what do you think I can do?" And I said, "Well, there's a vast capacity for forgiveness on the part of the American people." I said, "You've got to get out there and tell the truth. You can't skim about this because they'll throw you out for the lying, but not for the adultery."
But the president denies the claims.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
But Kenneth Starr, the chief prosecutor,
Mr. Starr, you may proceed,
has been handed the ultimate smoking gun. One of Miss Lewinsky's dresses, stained with an organic presidential substance. Starr's team now needs a matching DNA sample. Staffer Bob Bittman has the unenviable job of getting one.
The
president came down with his attorney and the White House physician, who then extracted blood visibly to us. He was angry. He was the President of the United States, and we were there for the purpose of taking his DNA to compare it to a semen stain found on the dress of this 20-year-old girl.
Having realized prosecutor Starr has him in a tight corner, the president defends himself in an address to the nation.
5 seconds.
This afternoon in this room, I testified before the Office of Independent Counsel and the grand jury. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part, for which I am solely and completely responsible.
Determined to prove there was more to the story than the president was letting on, Starr prepares his next move.
Our job is to gather facts and to evaluate those facts and to get at the truth.
On September 11th, 1998, Starr submits a 445-page report to the lower house, containing sexually explicit details of the president's affair with Monica Lewinsky. Within 2 weeks, both the Starr report and Clinton's grand jury testimony are publicly released.
If Monica Lewinsky says that you used a cigar as a sexual aid with her in the Oval Office area, would she be lying? Yes, no, or won't answer?
I will revert to my former statement.
The details are tough to take, decidedly not for the faint of heart, certainly not for children.
With the nation already intoxicated by sexual imagery, it's not long before the old-fashioned news media pushes the envelope.
Prosecutors cite at least 13 instances in which he touched her in very intimate ways. The report also alleges sex while the president was on the phone with 3 different members of Congress.
It was a coarsening. You can't unthink and unvisualize what we all had to visualize.